The heal's not going to be enough. He goes down once more.
That's such poor timing for Cloud9 because they would have had Dragon.
And big damage into Bischu. This might not be a good fight for C9T. Moore will get the stun, but in comes the fight towards the back line. XiaoWeiXiao forced two Zonias, but huge damage comes out from Rise. But there comes Vasilii on the back lines. The big burst comes across Bischu, barely staying alive. Rise still in the mix, but the damage is too much. Everyone falling over from C9T. LMQ win another huge fight, 4-0. Hey everyone, welcome back to the 2014 Challenger Spring Series Finals. We're headed into Game 3 between LMQ and Cloud9 Tempest. Now LMQ came back after a loss in Game 1 to tie the series, and I'd of course like to welcome back C9's Hi to the analyst desk. So LMQ looked a whole lot better that game. What did they do right that time?
Right, so a very interesting thing that game was Lucian had teleport. So I think the idea behind that was Rise really wants a 1v1, right? Because he's like the worst champion in the world in 1v2. So I guess their idea was like, if in the case that they have the wrong lanes, say they went bottom, the Renekton's there, they could like teleport up or something. But obviously that didn't work out that well because he tried to 1v1 Graves a couple times and lost because he didn't have a summoner spell.
Yeah.
So I think that idea behind the teleport AD carry is fine, but it didn't work out that well at all.
All right, so then it, of course, transitioned into team fights. I mean, just aside from a couple of duels, like, I know Game 1 was decided by a couple of, like, oh, the Wish turned the fight around, but was it the same kind of situation where a couple of fights turned the game, or was it a different sort of formula?
So that entire game went off of the team fights. The fact that C9 lost a few big fights was basically the game. When you're not winning team fights at Soraka, you're not going to have a good time. And you don't have anyone that can split push. Rise takes turrets, like, he doesn't take turrets, rather. And then Lucian with the teleport, he can't split push. So when you're starting to lose team fights, you're not going to win. And especially, you have a team fight comp, but you're making your AD carry have a split pushing summoner spell, so I don't...
Yeah.
There's just no synergy between that and just doesn't work out that well.
Plus,
really.
LMQ came with a pretty good teamfight comp, too. They had a lot of AoE damage.
Right, so once again, they have Orion and they want the teamfight again, and they had better teamfighting potential. They had more heals. They had 2 heal summoner spells, I believe, or 3, I don't know. Actually, they had the same amount of heals because Soraka and Karma ran it, right? But they have ignites on top of that to counteract a heal, whereas C9 has 2 teleports. How are you going to teamfight with that, you know?
Sure. So actually, I want to talk to you then about one of the adaptations that LMQ made, which was adding Graves to the lineup. Of course, it was banned in Game 1, picked here in the second one. How do you feel about Graves now in 4.5? Have you guys maybe running it? Like, what do you feel about him?
I personally like Graves. So if you build Bloodthirster into Last Whisper on Graves, his QR does a ridiculous amount of damage. It's kind of annoying, actually, because I don't expect to die to it. But he kind of QRs me, I'm dead. I'm like, that's annoying. But in Game 1, they banned 3 AD carries out. They got rid of Graves as well. In this game, they only banned 2 and left another one up. So you can't have the same strategy if you're going to modify that strategy a little bit. It kind of messed them over.
Yeah, you can't do the strategy halfway.
Yeah,
you go all the way.
You have to commit. At that point in time, I think they banned Kha'Zix's 3rd ban. When you ban 2 AD carries already, commit to the 3rd ban regardless. Even if you're on blue side, you have to stick to your plan. And you didn't necessarily get outdrafted that hard just because LMQ picked some interesting 1-2. I think they did Morgana and what was the other one? Someone help me out.
Renekton pretty early.
Yeah, but their 1-2, they didn't take Lucian there, so then C9 got Lucian back. Yeah, Elise. So they took Elise away from Corkaz with 2 junglers banned. So the trifecta of junglers are kind of gone. Because Corkaz doesn't play Lucian, he's forced on a lower tier jungler. So that was a great pick by LMQ, but they also didn't take Lucian for some reason, which I'm not sure why. But that's probably because they're okay with Graves. So C9 got Lucian back, which is good for them, but they picked a terrible summoner spell and got outplayed.
Kez was something that I actually wanted to focus on because it looked like they exposed a little bit of a weakness here. For me, I've always only remembered him on Elise, and he did not look that good on Xiao. Also going with the Lizard Elder. Do you think that LMQ will actually latch onto that and try and focus one person? Now that they are back on first pick, how do you think this is going to switch it up going into Game 3?
Right, so I think it is a good strategy to focus Corkaz. He likes his Elise, he likes his Kha'Zix, and he likes his Eve. Why? Because those are 3 good junglers, and the fact that he doesn't play Lee Sin, if you can take care of 3 of those and leave Lee Sin up, he's not going to pick that. So then he's automatically forced into a lower tier jungler, such as Zhao or Nocturne or whatever he feels like playing. And when you have a jungler advantage, you have map pressure, you have map advantage on them. So then it's a very good strategy to do against C9.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time. Hi, we're going to get ourselves into Game 3, but we'll basically definitely see you after the next one.
Definitely.
We'll definitely see you after the next one because there's at least going to be 2 more games, guys. 1-1 in the series, and we're going to get ourselves underway with champion select in just a second here. So LMQ back on the blue side. I wonder if C9T is going to go halfway with the bans. I think that'd be a mistake to only get rid of 2. We'll see if they can target Vasilii's champion pool.
Well, they are back on purple, and so they do have also the counter pick. They have a guaranteed at least 1 counter pick for them as well. So they could leave up again all these OPs and just straight ban 80 carries once again.
The one thing that LMQ has learned in this series,
Aha!
You talked about it in game 1, the Shyvana's still getting banned.
I kept calling for it.
Yeah, it was banned in game 2. They won the game. They kept it for game 3.
Focus Yazuki with that one. Then also, I feel like Yazuki and Kez have the shallow champion pool for this team. So if you kind of split between those 2, it might work. But again, back to the Ziggs. They don't like pushing against Ziggs because LMQ, they always like to get those early leads and turning that into a mid-game end. Very hard to do that against Ziggs. So they never want to play against Ziggs.
So C9T actually going to revamp their strategy a fair bit, though Caitlyn and Orianna banned away. And I want to kind of hone in on the jungle trifecta that Hai talked about, as well as are they able to get like a big duo like Soraka and Lucian for their first rotation. I feel like that's the ideal rotation here for C9T. As the last bans come through, LMQ still remove the Kha'Zix, so again, Elise, Evelynn still available as champions that Kez likes to play, so they could late pick that and not lose it. C9T's last ban, is it going to be the mid laner? Is it going to be top lane Renekton? Where does it go?
Yeah, so LMQ, they spread their bans over 3 different people here. Just 1 for each, what they feel is the most annoying champion that each of those 3 people play. That doesn't mean that they'll be put on something that they're uncomfortable with, though. It just means the second tier.
Now we'll see what happens. Of course, Orianna also a good pick against Soraka in general in the matchup, although these guys could play the matchup differently. The ban does come through onto Soraka, so now a lot of opportunities there. You can grab the Lucian, of course. We talked about LMQ being comfortable with something else.
I was going to say, Nidalee is definitely the highest priority. As soon as those 2 are off the table, very, very big priority on Nidalee. Both of these guys love playing Nidalee, and XiaoWeiXiao is going to be the one awarded that honor.
And it was interesting, too, because of the champion pool that was available in the first 2 games. That, oh, yeah, well, Soraka versus Ori, Soraka versus Ori. It didn't even get considered here, but with those removed, they go immediately 1 step down. Nidalee the first pick here. My initial thought is, like, maybe Lucian and Elise, but C9T have to say, okay, well, shoot, you know, we banned 2 mid laners, but they still got another great one. And now Bischu's down to, like, champion number 5.
Yeah, but you don't have to pick a mid lane champion right now. I think you got to try and grab 2. Those 2 that you mentioned were pretty good ideas. Because they really do need Kez to be on a strong champion. He didn't look like he was going to have much impact last game, and then towards that late game, he was actually a liability, getting caught out with that mobility boost in Xiao, very low defense stats. He was taken out of the fights very, very early.
Well, C9T taking their time with this one, though. I don't know if they expected the Nidalee to get picked up this early, though, because normally when a team like knows and they like, yeah, we picked up the picks come through fast. You get like 10 seconds, they lock them in oftentimes.
They definitely slow down a lot towards the end of series, especially long series like this, because they're very, very reactive.
Well, Eve Morgana actually is the grab. Both these teams have been prioritizing Morgana early in the series, in their picks and bans, and saying that this is the support we actually want to grab, even with everything else on the table.
Yeah, that is interesting. And something that Hai pointed out too. I have to talk to him a little bit more about that one. Didn't seem like he was quite sure as to why they put such a high priority on Morgana support.
Where's Elimination when you need him? You just start reading out from the notebook, like the Morgana support is good again, like picks the 7 matchups you want it for. But Evelynn does come through for Kez. That is a champion commonly banned against him. So he's going to get this one for himself. Thresh Renekton the hovers right now on LMQ. They're kind of just grabbing different lanes, getting the best ones they can.
So one of the possibilities for Cloud9 Tempest with the early Morgana pick is they can put a lot of their emphasis on Altec like they like to do. If Bischu uses like a Lulu mid, Soraka is banned out, but he could easily go with the Lulu mid. And then again, they still have 2 shields. They've got speed buffs. They've got everything they need to juice up Altec in the late game and keep him ahead. Lulu, though, is not going to be an option because it was just locked in.
Yeah, I was wondering if LMQ is going to do that, if they're going to play support Lulu. We see it once in a while, right? And because Cloud9 didn't grab a mid laner, yet another one removed away, the flex pick working now. This will make it an interesting matchup, though. Lulu versus Morgana bottom lane is an uncommon matchup. But I think that was a smart choice by LMQ. They still have yet to show their junglers, have yet to show their AD carry, which gives C9T a little bit of moves, but Bischu, again, losing another mid lane pick out at number 6.
Definitely a strong steal away there for LMQ. Doesn't really matter as far as the support duo is concerned. Lulu's fine against Morgana. Likewise, they're just going to have to be having Vasilii watch out as long as he doesn't get hit with a binding. And then he'll be able to avoid that burst from Corki early. This is the champion, though, that Altec went crazy on last series.
Yeah, they kind of relied on him to be a big split push. Like, it's not like Corki's a good split pusher. He has no attack speed buff, so he kills turrets rather slowly.
Yeah.
But he just kills waves so fast, he can get back around the map with the Triforce move speed. So, Corki Morgana, a lot of heavy push right there, a lot of poke as well. If you land a binding, you can hit confirm a lot of spells. And then Syndra mid to try to fight Nidalee.
Yeah, the other thing, though, about this Cloud9 team that they've got locking in that Corki, they're very magic damage heavy. Evelynn is hybrid. She does decent attack damage towards the mid game, but she does build mostly tank towards the end. So there's a lot of magic damage for this Cloud9 team, and LMQ will be able to prioritize magic resist in their builds.
And you're going to see the last few picks to come through. Vasilii will get Lucian for the first time in the series. The jungle Lee-Sin for NoName, the most likely grab here. As we wait out the last few seconds, top lane Renekton, of course, still there for Ackerman. Be happy to play that one. So C9T need a physical damage top lane. They go for Jax with that one.
More hybrid, so a lot of mix damage.
Yeah.
Just because all three of those are mix, I feel like it's kind of balanced out now.
I think you have enough to where, like, if you don't buy Randuins, you will have a hard time.
Yeah, I think the Cloud9 team looks pretty solid now since they got mostly damage, but they won't have super tanks. It takes a while for Eve to start switching over. She starts out as pure damage assassin.
True.
Lizard Elder into a Hex Drinker. Same thing with Jax. He usually gets at least one offensive item first. Trinity Force usually play the Rune King as well. So starting out with 2 offensive items, it's going to take a long time for them to build defense stats. So when you do that, it's fine, but you just have to rely on your positioning and the timing of your engages. Every second counts when you don't have a solid tank like that. Meanwhile, LMQ can again rely on Ackerman to be that solid tank for them. And I feel like LMQ's team just seems more comfortable.
I think it does too. They're all on champions. They completely know how to play. We've seen probably this exact comp multiple times before from these guys. They're happy to play comfort picks all the time. The other thought as well is, it's always the question, how much engage do you have versus the poke, versus the Nidalee Lucian combo here? You've even got Lulu in the backlines to help out with Whimsy, and you've got Jax. We can see it work, especially teleport Jax flanking in, jumping in, Counter-Strike, that can work out.
Yeah.
Jungle Evelynn, you can flank and make the fight start, but again, that can be very difficult. Syndra, not really an engaged champion. Morgana, not really an engaged champion there. So, you know, starting the fights, it's going to require some skill shots or some good flanking from C9T.
That has been the general trend of a lot of the team compositions in this new patch.
Yeah.
People rely very heavily on vision control to start their team fights off. Whether it is through the picks, whether it is through the teleports and the flanking, it's pretty much all about who gets control of the jungles early, because that's the team that gets to set up their vision, and that's the team that gets more picks eventually because of that vision.
Yeah. We'll see if they do it then, of course. We know Jungle Lee-Sin to be a champion who likes to pick up a Sight Stone. Maybe LMQ just holds vision control the entire time throughout. You know, think about the mid lane matchup where XiaoWeiXiao is going to farm all the time. High told Bischu, get ward coverage. Use his farm to get better vision on the map. Make some roams happen. See if that happens for C9T.
And that being said, LMQ have 3 ways to reveal champions here. They've got Nidalee, Lulu, and Lee-Sin, all of which can keep track of Evelynn. So they have quite a few options here. They can also look to get some deep wards down here. Both supports, once again, starting with that single ward. So you can ward one side, invade another. Neither of them have been placed yet there. Oh, we have the one defensive ward for the red side.
And the quick Dark Sphere comes out from Bischu saying, hey,
side.
I know you're going for my red. It's going to be the same invade, basically, for LMQ. Moore does get the ward down. Actually opens up a Ruby Crystal. So a different opener here for Lulu. A lot of durability on him. Bischu shouldn't be too afraid of a catch, but yeah, could have maybe like queued the brush and delayed some recalls. Who knows?
He's fine with hovering that close to a bush because it would just be maybe Glitter Lance and a bunch of damage that comes out.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about bindings.
You know what I want to see a super mind game? Is you time an invade like this and say, okay, they're going to recall around like 50 seconds. You keep your team around, you Dark Sphere when half of them are recalled. And you're like, 5v2, let's go. Just saying, it's a possibility.
How do you know that half of them are recalled, Freak?
Because you'll see him go up to the brush. You'll guess they're recalling. I mean, we've seen this invade 3 times now today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know it's like in the playbook, and you're like, if our level 1's good, we'll just try it.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm just saying.
Definitely takes some luck there for that one. But there is a lot of luck involved in these level 1s.
See?
Nowadays. So
Roll the dice. Sometimes you get snake eyes.
both of the wards here on Cloud9's side. Defensive ward for them, and then the offensive one for LMQ. Regardless, though, it will end up in an exchange. Top side of the map is going to be Cloud9 heavy here, since they're going to have not only the duo switch, but also both buffs on the top side. So that leaves LMQ to control the bottom side of the map here and make their answer. Yazuki trying to double jungle. They may go for that 4-man level 2 tower shoving.
Yeah.
That we've seen from Complexity Black.
When we saw it from them, they would basically take the buff on that side and then either the other buff on the other, or if they're already on the correct side to 4-man dive, they just take 2 non-buff camps.
Yeah, and there they go.
Level 2 top lane. Renekton had to walk all the way across now. He's now just joining NoName, and we're going to have very comparable 4v0s.
This does leave the mid fight here to themselves. So Bischu gets to do whatever he wants to XiaoWeiXiao. Should be able to take advantage of that Nidalee early, knowing that junglers will be in the side lanes. That being said, they haven't shown yet from LMQ.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit behind. Cloud9 Tempest, even though they're working on that defense turret, the one that has extra reduction, they definitely have the jump. It was a good 20 seconds even of extra damage from top laner and jungler.
So 3:10 into the game, top lane turret's gone, bottom lane turret just now started.
Whoa.
Ackerman, NoName, and more all gonna recall back. Vasilii might not even get this turret for himself.
Vasilii's probably going to be able to get the turret. He's also going to get solo experience in a lane. Very, very valuable this early on.
I feel like Yazuki could teleport right now and would get like the entire set of waves and stop the turret from going down.
It looks
but they
like
never saw him.
it's going to cost them 2 turrets though. They're sacrificing everything, and they come out 1 turret down here for LMQ. Vasilii is going to have to make some pretty big plays.
There's a teleport.
He will have the advantage. Doesn't actually get it, you're right.
Wow, it's dangerously low though. LMQ can set up a trap for this whenever they want. Wards are all gone on the map, so we might see a Lee Sin flank at some point.
Now,
and, LMQ did counter jungle the walls up there.
They also, in the duels, if we do keep seeing continued duels between Vasilii and Altec, Vasilii will have a substantial advantage in that one.
Yeah, the lane got taxed so heavily by Kez in there. He was kind of one of the main wave clear forces. You see like way more CS on Evelynn. And yeah, we'll see how much that's going to hurt Altec throughout this game, but the extra turret gold will help. You see a 1,100 gold lead right now for C9T, and the lane's going to reset, but you're right, the question is how well can this lane hold up with a low turret and a CS deficit?
Altec has also not gone back to purchase, so it's really just the experience discrepancy between the two. Large wave here. They should be able to farm it easily at their turret. So, we return to normal lanes after a 2-turret advantage to Cloud9 Tempest. The only person who's actually been able to take advantage of that gold, though, the global gold, has been really the jungler. We'll have to see what Kez can do with all of this money he's invested in Division. A lot of extra wards for him. We'll see if he can start making plays across the map. Evelynn definitely happy that it's returned to the standard lanes here, because Evelynn's going to be able to take advantage.
Yeah, but she's actually taken away golems right on top of a ward, and actually this bottom lane turret is low enough that it will be picked up here by the LMQ squad when he's going to come through. Last hit there by Vasilii. Kaz actually was spotted not too long ago in the top lane. So of course the dual lane of LMQ knows they're safe, but now that time has gone on, Evelynn is back to an unknown quantity. Yazuki versus Ackerman, double Dorans versus just Dorans and a potion here. We'll see if that's going to help there. The stun coming through, stun coming back though. Bit of a trade, but until Jax hit 6, you really can't push back on Renekton easily.
Well, this is a very dangerous lane for Ackerman, because even though it's back to standard lanes, he has 0 turrets to fall back on. Both of them were taken. If he wants to run back home, it's a long, long run, and Jax is very good at setting up ganks. See if he lands a counter-strike.
And the stun red buff is there for Kez. Ackerman does have flash. Flash used by Kez though as well. The stun comes across. Ackerman jumps the wall. Yazuki though is going to flash to chase this one down. The leap strikes up right now. First blood comes through. 800 gold. 400 gold plus 200 for the assist. I don't know, 600 gold, whatever. C9T with the lead.
Now, I'm very interested to see which way that lane was pushing up top. I think it is pushing against Ackerman, so at least he doesn't have to worry about it being... Oh, no, it's not.
Barely pushing down.
Dead. Oh, it's going to take a while for him to get back then. He's going to have to overextend once again. no matter how much ward coverage he even has, it's still really hard for him because he would have to buy multiple pink wards to make sure he's safe.
The flank, though, NoName going to land the slow in a Gleebglarbu. Morgana's going to flash away. Direct binding lands to NoName. He does not land the Q back. So the attempted push off the dead turret, not going to do too much but burn summoners.
Yeah, so the extended lane here for Cloud9 is a duo lane. Much safer for them to be up that far. Whereas Ackerman already bit the dust. Evelynn was able to claim the first blood. Next thing up for fighting here is going to be the dragon. Yazuki has his teleport, so if he goes back to base and heal, this is a guaranteed dragon, as Renekton is going to have his hands full, wave shoving against his turret.
And I want to see how the AD carries end up progressing, because you've got the one turret lead is going to start meaning less and less, ultimately. You can't really consider too big of a global lead anymore for C9T.
Pink ward.
Through the pink ward.
Gonna see him.
He's going to kill it. It's a 130 gold swing, but actually gets protected there by Moore and Vasilii. I feel like he can't do that for too long, though, with Bischu coming down to support that.
Looks like the early dragon is not enough for Cloud9 to make the call to have Yazuki actually teleport down there. They played safe. They just want to give over the blue buff and return Jax to lane. The early dragons don't give that much of an advantage, and they take a lot of your health, a lot of your resources. Lose a lot of control of the map when you go for those extremely early if you don't have a really strong tank for the dragon.
Well, speaking of control of the map, though, Gleeb is going to spot a second pink ward there on the tri-brush. LMQ have put 3 early pink wards down, 1 in the top lane by the blue buff and 2 in the bottom lane to watch for Eve roams. 2 of these wards have already died. So there's an extra 200 gold sort of punishment put on LMQ. They've stopped some ganks with it, but
it's that Evelynn tax, man.
Yep, it's the Eve tax.
The true sight vision. It's really hurting them. Not only did Ackerman die to the first gank, but he also had to buy that next pink ward. And there's no guarantee that pink ward sees Kez next time he goes top. There's a lot of other routes he could follow to try and return and punish Ackerman. That's why Ackerman's not staying up there. However, he does find the pixel ward push for himself.
All right, that one did not last very long. So now we're 2-1 in pink ward deaths. So far, LMQ holding the deficit on that one, but we'll see how it continues on. Another stun's going to land towards XiaoWeiXiao, but with blue buff, she's going to be fairly safe on Nidalee. Still just trading fairly equal farm for these two.
The blue buff control is really important because I feel like that takes away a lot of the prospective dragon control from Cloud9, even though they're the ones with the top laner who has the teleport. A Nidalee with blue buff, even in a 4 vs 5, very annoying to deal with around the early dragons. If they try and force it, he can get a lot of free poke off.
Yeah, gotta watch out for that one for sure. Altec level 6 early BF sword, actually very similar items across the AD carries. Actually, yeah, longsword versus boots basically going to be an equal itemization gap here. Altec versus Vasilii are going to be close together. 1,200, 1,300 gold for C9T. They're holding that basically off the first blood in the turret lead. That's basically where the gold lead is. The minions holding close to equal.
This is a risky gambit here from LMQ. They're going to try and take out the global at the source. If they are unsuccessful, then it's going to mean a dragon. If they are successful, then it's a huge advantage.
Well, big damage. Summoner heal burn. Vasilii low on health puts the culling down, though. Is going to let him disengage. Huge damage goes back on the AD carry. Altec. More pain coming out from Moore. There comes Kez off in the back lines. Dives forward. They look for this Lulu, but she's going to disengage. Has flash and heal. They don't dive for it. C9T do burn 1 summoner for 2 summoners, actually.
The gank up top was unsuccessful. They were not able to kill Yazuki. So he does have the teleport, and they can go for this dragon. They are going to force it. Might just be a trade. That turret is up top is very low.
Yeah, it looks like the bottom lane recalling anyway from LMQ, so Cloud9 Tempest not forced to TP to secure this. But it does mean dragon for top lane, outer turret, pretty equal gold, but it does help.
XiaoWeiXiao going to look for the God Spear.
Ooh!
He hit it!
Kez at like 5 HP. That was pretty nice right there. So LMQ
yeah, it doesn't get anything out of it, though.
Nope. He gets bragging rights. He has to get kicked away. NoName did just steal the red buff right now.
Jax needs to get up to that minion line. It's dying to the turret right now. He's trying to clear out red buff for his jungler, but losing substantial experience as he does so.
And the blue buffs have timed out in the mid lane as well, so now the mana game becomes a little bit tighter. You can see XiaoWeiXiao and Bischu both down to about 1/3. NoName having a very good game of counter jungling. He's level 8 right now. Finding a lot of things to do. XiaoWeiXiao going to take even more damage. They're keeping the heals going. He's summer healed early.
Yeah.
He was afraid of the Ignite burst all in.
Not very much mana on Bischu either, so there wouldn't have been a lot of follow-up damage besides the ulti. But yeah, quick fingers there for XiaoWeiXiao. Burns his summoner very fast. Now, it's very easy for Cloud9 to freeze this top lane now because the dragon's not on the field. So they're not losing out on threat of global gold elsewhere by trying to keep this wave as close to their territory as possible. Now, it's not a freeze, but he's not shoving it as quickly as he could. So that slow push he's looking for.
Yeah, there's nothing it's going to really culminate into. You can't really siege and hip turret this early.
He doesn't have vision, though. So even when you are sort of slowly pushing like that, you are vulnerable to the ganks, even in your own territory. Lucian heading up that way.
Yeah, so Altec pushed around a little bit in the bottom lane. NoName's waiting around, but
Gleeb's going to run right into him.
Ooh, on top of a pink ward. Gleebglarbu doesn't know what's going on just yet. Spots the Lucian. NoName on the escape. Evelynn actually does spot a pink ward down in the LMQ blue buff. So that's going to be a quick 2 pink ward death, but Kez has to be
collapsing,
afraid.
But it could be a 4-man squad. C9 are out of position here.
Big damage on XiaoWeiXiao as well. Bischu going in for this one pretty hard. NoName shows up for this fight. You've got Ackerman as well. Kez gonna pop the ultimate. Here comes Morgana. NoName low, jumps the wall with flash. He's gonna be safe. XiaoWeiXiao is around. Quick slow landed. Gonna have more defending the team. NoName starts to recall, but comes back on this one. Blue buff now being invaded.
Oh,
C9.
very dangerous.
Well, they're trying for it anyway, though. Javelin's going to not quite land, but there's a Dark Binding. The pick up of the blue buff. Smite's going to come through. NoName goes down, actually. The kill picked up. Knock up now from Lulu. Bischu forced down. Ackerman, a big tank, finds the kill in the mid laner. Javelin's going to come by as well. Does not find Yazuki, who's going to run away with this stun available. Still running, though. Kez is around for the leap strike. It's going to have that one happen. XiaoWeiXiao, though, jumps through the brush to find more speed. Flashes actually misses the jump over the wall. Another Javelin comes in.
Oh!
Yazuki walks into it, and it's another kill for LMQ.
Now, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this fight that Bischu kills NoName with his own blue buff. Throws it on top of his head.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So the golem gets its vengeance there on LMQ. But eventually the fight does go in their favor. As I said, very dangerous jungle invade by Cloud9. And they're not able to escape on the exit path there. It actually ends up costing them another turret.
Gleeb's trying to buy some time for his team, though, but takes a Javelin for his troubles. Bischu just sweeps the wards out, for the minions, I should say, and LMQ hold a 400 gold lead.
All right, so NoName's trying to finish off the golem, but he gets sucked away.
Wow.
What a play from Bischu there. Beautiful, even though he ends up going down in the end. Worth it. All right, Yazuki eventually getting slowed, as we see. Now, let's see, he flashes and then jumps crooked. So it was actually the jump that was a little off there.
Yeah.
But he makes it up for her with the beautiful spear.
Yeah, what a great prediction right there. Yazuki walking into it, not reacting in time. So you can have a 1-0-1. Nidalee, 132 CS. And honestly, this is one of XiaoWeiXiao's comfort champions. Isn't Nidalee so strong overall? It's a cornerstone for his team. If they get ahead, the sieges with that champion are so effective. And LMQ now with, honestly, their first gold lead of the game.
Well, it's very generous to call this a gold lead. It's barely 100.
I'm technically right.
Okay.
The best kind of being right. Uh-oh. The gold lead disappeared. They're going to get it back soon. Tie game.
Dang it. All right. More duels going on down bottom. I like the defensive pink wards, by the way, from LMQ. They have set up that outer defensive line. Bischu on the run. Can he escape the Lucian? No, he misses the stun.
The Q lands. Going to be not good for Bischu. Puts what damage down he can. There's the ulti buy as well, but the Javelin from XiaoWeiXiao takes it up. NoName lives with 300 health.
Yeah, and the heal.
Yep.
Big there. So, not able to land that stun. Goes down. And now it will be a collapse for LMQ. Every member here mid, they're looking to dive.
So they can find NoName push back around as well. There's more on the side lanes, taking a bit of pain. Stun comes through, big rocket coming in. Altec can't quite find the damage. Push back, Vasilii on the chase, but there comes the rest of the damage. More does finally fall. Yazuki getting the kill credit. Ackerman on the chase though. Kez very low, one hit from dead. He will fall to Vasilii. Now Yazuki's gonna jump back in, but he's gotta run away actually. The team is outnumbered. LMQ still on the chase. Javelin, this one does get dodged.
Successful dive from LMQ, and Cloud9 are having a hard time regrouping. You gotta be careful, they might lose this middle turret. That would be huge for them. Then they could start getting those, those green wards down in the camps that they really want. Well, they've actually already got a decent number of them. Good ward coverage up on the top side for LMQ. They can spot Evelynn when she farms those camps and know where she's heading towards next. done a pretty good job of controlling her.
Yeah.
But again, gold even. It's all about that next dragon fight.
Yeah, and LMQ recalled right after that one. Instead of going for the mid turret and having low health bars and low mana bars, they recalled, saying you want to be healthy in time for the dragon fight.
They're prepping for it, but there's no teleport here. Yazuki's got to walk his way all the way from base. LMQ do not know that, however. Wow, Cloud9 starting this one off very quickly. 4-man, and they're actually starting the dragon themselves early. No, they don't go for it.
Yeah, they're going to back up for this one. Both teams missing a few ultimates, though. Kez and Gleebglarbu missing 2 from C9T, but the same, actually, the support and top laner of LMQ. We're going to see the dragon is now down to half HP.
Smite fight versus Lee Sin here. This is really dangerous.
Nico's javelin does get dodged away. The big burst coming in for Kez. Smite picked up for C9T. Ackerman low on health takes a big chunk of burst, but he's going to disengage pretty safely. Black shield already burned as well. Rocket's coming by. NoName puts the shield on the teammate. Gleeb forced to flash away. Kez is low as well. The re-engage the javelin. There comes the dive. NoName picks up 1. Will he lose his life? Yes, he will, but Yazuki falls 2 for 1. Now Bischu under fire. He's going to drop down rather quickly. Does get picked up there. 3 for 1 for Dragon.
3 for 1 for Dragon. Not worth it because they're going to lose control of the map. That will be a lot of damage on that mid tower if it doesn't actually go down. Ackerman going to try and clean up that wave down bottom before it does hit towards the inhibitor. Yeah, pretty big win there for LMQ. Nice area of effect damage. That one spear that he lands onto Gleebglarbu here, and then the follow-up culling from Vasilii loses them this fight. Everyone's running away, grouped up, and Lee Sin able to get a perfect Lulu ult off, even though he goes down in the end. Worthy sacrifice. Gets not only his Tempest slow, but also the slow from Lulu ultimate.
Yeah.
Great chase there from LMQ.
Greatly played. So +3 kills right now. Actually, they don't even get many turrets off that. Looks like mid lane still stands.
Yeah, they just got a little bit of damage there. Because Ackerman actually went bottom to farm that wave, and XiaoWeiXiao was down bottom farming his own wave. They were very, very split there. They're not in any rush to take that turret, it looks like. They do need to renew their ward coverage, though. It has lapsed on the Cloud9 jungle.
And so C9T right now are trying to hold on to wards themselves. You got a couple of pink wards, though, from LMQ, stabbing a little bit towards the right-hand side of the map near Dragon. Talking about XiaoWeiXiao, though, 4-0-3 on that first pick Nid. He's had such a phenomenal game. It's really showing why the champions feared. Even though they went for Orianna the first 2 games, 1 win, 1 loss, this champion right here is doing pretty well for him.
Yeah, you can say that. Fanning away the Orianna, definitely not paying off here for Cloud9. They left the turret up, but they did not leave it up with very much life.
Yeah, this should be a pretty quick pick up there. Another turret going to go down. Kez pops the ulti, though, looking for a bit of an engage, honestly. Here we go. Stun lands on a 2. XiaoWeiXiao and more. The flash away from the support. Dark Binding will hit Lulu, though. Kez is there. Big Burst comes off, pops his ulti for it, but that's not going to matter much. We'll see if C9T can pick up more. It is
Vasilii joins the fight. It's 4-on-4 again. 4-on-5, I mean.
4-on-5. Here we go. Kez in the front lines takes a huge chunk of damage. XiaoWeiXiao disengages, and Kez falls. Altec on the chase. He finds the kill finally on the mid laner. 2 for 1 fight. Yazuki, Vasilii trading blows right there. Down goes the mid laner of C9T. The stun comes up. Yazuki will trade one back, though. 3-2 on the fight. Ackerman can't find much else. C9T with a small lead, but they lose the turret.
Good eye there from Cloud9. They see Vasilii split. They go for the engage. And man, they land some good skill shot CCs there. Gleeb comes up very big with the binding, guaranteeing them the kill and the 4 versus 5 fight. So it starts off with the Syndra stun onto 2. And then they follow it up. Gleeb able to hit that binding pretty easily onto Moore. He's up against the wall, so that's always very nice to line up your skill shots with. Then the initiation here from LMQ on the 4 versus 5 fight. They actually get caught up by another Syndra stun, and it splits. So Vasilii goes on his one-man Rambo mission up towards the top, and he gets his target, but he goes down in exchange.
Yeah. So that was ultimately the turrets being traded in a +1 kill for Cloud9 Tempest. You're seeing the gold 100 apart.
Yeah, I love this matchup.
This game 3.
This Challenger Series matchup.
It's a fun final.
Is really, really fun. I like this this rivalry that's brewing between these guys.
Remember, we're going to have more games. It's a best of 5. We ain't even done yet.
Yeah, we started off the morning with a best of 5. It went the full length.
Yep.
Most of those were 50-plus minute games as well.
All right,
so
Kobe,
we're going long today.
Time for the repeat. I'm going to play up through Monday.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, here we go,
like,
guys.
These are definitely exciting ones. I'm very curious to see the game-to-game adaptation, too.
Yeah.
Because Cloud9, they're probably not going to just ban one mid laner again. They can see right now, XiaoWeiXiao is going to have a big impact on the game.
Yeah.
Whether he's on Orianna, whether he's on Nidalee.
Well, the slow land from Gleeb. Missed the Dark Binding, though.
A slow dodge.
Yeah. His ulti was slightly down, so it's just now up and couldn't wait that long. LMQ collapsed down. They walk on top of a ward, though.
All right, split pushing Jax. They do once again have teleport advantage. That's something that's been very consistent in this matchup. Cloud9 opting with far more teleport, more globals than LMQ. LMQ almost always looking for those combat summoners, looking for the team fight power that they like to snowball from early. Yazuki gets bottom turret, but LMQ have position on mid.
Gonna be some damage going through. Gleeb gonna take a pain. There's a knockup already. Ackerman just dives in for the fight. They find one already. Kez has nowhere to go as well. He's trying to survive, but he won't. The kick to NoName.
Back from Yazuki.
The second kill. Will they get much more for this one? The ulti already popped by Bischu and doesn't do much. It's actually 3 kills picked up as Bischu also goes down. LMQ find a gigantic fight and they've got control over mid.
They burned the teleport as well. Pretty much every advantage Cloud9 had used up in that team fight. And LMQ looked to march towards inhibitor turret.
The dodge comes in with a stun, lands from Ackerman. A big bunch of pain coming up on both sides. It's gonna be a 3-for-0 plus a tier 2 turret. All just for a bottom outer.
At the beginning, great flank there from Ackerman. Gets in perfect positioning. Him and Moore are able to wreck house. And then, even though Yazuki teleports in, way too late here. Everyone went down so fast. Global presence means nothing if LMQ get those types of initiations and they're able to execute quickly. That's why they favor the combat summoner heavy team. Ackerman always liking to get that advantage, draw the teleports to himself, make you burn that teleport on something like a minion, on a ward, so it's a long cooldown, and he'll take advantage there.
And it worked really well. There's actually one thing I want to point out as well to talk about how well XiaoWeiXiao farms. 208 to 179 in minions. So C9T get a good dragon. That's going to put their gold back in a decent spot. But Bischu still is without a death cap, 23-45 into the game. That last fight, he tried to all-in Vasilii and got him to 1/4 through a summoner heal. Nearly took out the AD carry, but got traded back on. Things like that, missing an item by a couple hundred gold because of a farm advantage, because of a couple of kills, or because of some globals, can turn fights like that.
Heartbreaking for Cloud9, but as you said, they were able to answer with a dragon and climb right back in there with the gold. Only 1k down now. Feral Flare also finally completed here for NoName. He did opt for that Feral Flare build on Lucian over the Lizard Elder. So the investment finally paying off. 24 minutes in is a very slow Feral Flare upgrade, but that's to be expected with someone like Lee Sin. Looking for a lot more early game plays, not farming the jungle hard. Now he does get a huge boost in power, though. It has finally converted towards the mid game here, as especially they're going to be fighting over ward spots. He's got extra ones.
So let's see what they find with this one. Ward's under fire. C9T kill one. Their pink ward, though, going to be easily available. LMQ already has a pink ward on Baron itself.
XiaoWeiXiao still another step ahead with the item builds. Death cap is completed for Bischu, but already the Void Staff is completed for XiaoWeiXiao. So the spears are at their highest point of threat right now. 25 minutes in, he's got that trifecta completed.
Yeah.
Gonna be very, very difficult for Cloud9. If they can control a blue, that would be amazing for them. They would love to keep the blue buffs away from XiaoWeiXiao. However, it's very hard for them to go for that team fight and force it. They would need some sort of pick first. Spending a lot of money into the vision control here. They switched over to 3 sweepers and Spooky Ghosts. They do their part.
Twin Shadows, they're gonna slow down more. He's actually a bit alone. There's a weird rotation here.
This blue buff, they are gonna go for this blue buff.
Okay, this is the big fight. XiaoWeiXiao puts the javelin down. Kez, though, on the backside. A stun comes in. XiaoWeiXiao forced to jump away. Gets the Lulu ulti. That's Lulu, or ulti's burned now for the mid laner and support on opposite sides. This one, blue buff getting lower and lower. Kez taking a bit of pain, though. The flash engage, the stun is massive, and down he goes. 1-for-0. LMQ just finding the fights every single time.
Yeah, they're baited in by the blue buff. Kez was trying to smite that one away, and he was not watching the threat. His position was right next to the tank there, and he gets burned down while he's trying to smite away the blue, deny it from Nidalee. Is a good idea for them to get it, but so risky to extend like that inside the jungle, and they pay for it really, really painfully here. Not only will they give up LMQ's blue buff, but it costs them their own as well. Wow. Devastating loss for Cloud9.
Great steal by NoName. LMQ are going to be ready.
That's a little close.
He'll take some damage, but it's worth it for 30 gold for the ward. Going to be okay in this one. Cloud9 Tempest trying to collapse back in. 1,600 gold deficit so far. Starting to slowly grow away from them. LMQ having a great job of this one. The mid game is working. They just bought Majai's on more, by the way. That's how confident he feels. What? Just wants more ability power.
This is a close game, man. It's still 1,000 away.
And AP scales well on Lulu.
He's picked up the, I guess this one's the man or book. Man, all right. Well, we'll see if he can keep himself from dying and make that Majai's pay off.
He's only got 2 so far. See if he can keep it going. Spends 800 gold for the privilege of maybe stacking it up some more. Once he's at 5 stack, it's worth it.
I don't know. At this point, they need as much power as they can get to win the next team fight. And that's 800 gold that is not very cost efficient until you stack it up.
True.
However, it might not cost him anything. If they can win the next team fight, he'll get plenty of stacks off of it.
Guy's forced to run bottom lane.
Whoa.
Tier 2 turret going down, but mid inhibitor turret already gone. It's going to be the jump in. Gleeb taking a big burst of punishment, puts the heals on himself, pops the ulti as well. Zonim going to get locked up. We're going to have the rotation in from Jax towards the flank. Bischu is low. Ackerman taking a bunch of pain. Kez already lost his ultimate. There's the engage from Yazuki. He's going to be the kill on the Kez though. 1 for 0 so far. Will they find more? Looks like 2 kills, 3 kills. LMQ crushing the fight. 4 kills picked up. Gleeb, the only one alive. He'll be going down. Not yet.
Whoa.
Vasilii keeps himself alive in this one, but LMQ well in control of this game. Mid inhibitor going down. They've got a minion wave as well, and 15 seconds to close out the game. Nexus turret number 1, 28.5 minutes in. 17-7 the kill score. Nexus turret number 2 goes down, and the Nexus itself will follow. 2-1 in the series, and LMQ are 1 game away.
Another great game right there. Even though Cloud9 were able to keep the gold levels fairly similar, they were down in experience, and in game, they don't know that the gold levels are so close.
Yeah.
But LMQ see that they have this huge kill advantage, and that gives them the confidence to play like they're even further ahead.
True.
And that just playing like you're further ahead enables them to actually get the kill, and they just burn down that mid inhibitor turret and just rush Cloud9, end in the game. That Medjai's buy, that was it. That sealed the deal.
Didn't need it, but it worked out. And I gotta say, there were 2 picks that stood out to me as really awesome choices. So LMQ, first of all, with the extra mid lane bans, 3 of them. First pick, Nidalee mid.
Yeah,
worked
of course, that one.
so well for XiaoWeiXiao. Then second rotation grabbed Lulu support, which I liked for 2 reasons. One, it actually made the dives from Renekton so effective. You had Ackerman and NoName tag teaming in there. Lulu knock up for either one. Kept the front line tanky, even early game. I mean, that was a 28-minute game, and the tanks felt tanky in that game. So that was off the bat incredible.
Steal it away from Bischu.
Exactly, and that was the other reason why I liked it.
Bonus.
Yeah, and his Syndra never got off the ground. I mean, Syndra floats by default and never really got off the ground. That's how kind of kept down he was with this one. At one point, it was like 2-5-2 into the game. Kept trying to all-in Vasilii and couldn't. His burst was spent on a tank with a bunch of shields on him. It was like, well, we killed a frontliner, and then he would die to a javelin or to follow up from the Lucian or something like that. And so I didn't like that.
And Cloud9 actually banned out Soraka this time, too.
Yeah, they did.
They're that scared of the champion.
They tried to pinch an early game, or like early champ select picks, and could make it work out here. So actually, we do have a replay, though. LMQ winning a 3-for-2 if you want to get that on your screen, because these fights were awesome overall.
All right, so, oh yeah, this was the double Syndra stuns that started this one out. That was actually the second one. Altec going super deep to get those doubles, by the way. And then, given Renekton the distance that he deserves, that was just the bottom side of the fight that we didn't get to see. Both AD carries went super deep that one, by the way. Vasilii goes top super hard to try and get his target. Does find it, kills Bischu. Altec does the same thing down bottom. Both AD carries come up with the kills that they were looking for.
Yeah. One thing I was impressed with LMQ actually in general was how fast they focused an individual target. Kez would die so quickly in team fights once his ult was down, once the shield was gone. He kept dropping. Like, the Hex Drinker buy to get some more damage, I feel like he should have even ditched that and just added more Ruby Crystals to his inventory, because he was able to get the ulti off, but then would drop right afterwards. His ganks, unfortunately, didn't work. All the early pink wards, remember the score at one point for Eve, was 0, 3, and 4. He got a couple of ganks. He did get first blood. That was really smart. The early game moves worked out for the Evelynn. but then you just kind of didn't see it work anymore. LMQ, I thought, played defensively enough, and they capitalized off javelins really well. And their mid-game, time and again, is so good.
Yeah, I think definitely the story here, don't let him have Nidalee either.
No.
They switched over and banned Orianna.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Seems scary. I thought that was a pretty good performance. So, guys, LMQ takes the lead now 2-1 in this best of 5, but up next, it's a possibly decisive game 4.
Possibly decisive. I like that. Good job,
good
Riders.
at this, guys. LMQ will be trying to close out their dominant spring series with the championship crown, and will be joined once more by Hai here at the analyst desk. Don't go anywhere. It's the Challenger Series Finals.
They are going to go for this blue buff.
Okay, this is the big fight. XiaoWeiXiao puts this javelin down. Kezo on the backside. A stun comes in. XiaoWeiXiao forced to jump away. Gets the Lulu ulti. That's Lulu, or ulti's burn now for the mid laner and support on opposite sides of this one. Blue up getting lower and lower. Kez taking a bit of pain though. The flash engage. The stun is massive and down he goes. 1 for 0. LMQ just finding the fights every single time.